Swashbucklers, you're listening to Under the Crossbones, episode number 164. My name's Phil Johnson. I am your host for the show. Every single week, here we are. And thank you once again for tuning in. I appreciate it. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you telling your friends, like Kat Truewalker, who tagged Captain Mad Jack McClafferty in a tweet last week. Captain Mad Jack was like, why haven't I heard of this podcast before? There's so much great stuff on it. And Kat was like, yeah, there is. And now Captain Jack's listening, and Kat Truewalker's listening, and lots of people are listening. So it does work. If you go out and tell your friends about the show, it is a giant help, and I appreciate you doing that. My guests on the show today, we got a cool guest, two cool guests, actually. We're going to talk to Ferdinando Menezes and Gareth Noble of Pirates Grog Rum. Now, as you know, with me, I know very little about the alcoholic beverages. So it's a learning experience for me every time to talk to these rum folks. And these guys are super fun, very funny. We're going to talk about how they got into the rum business. We're going to talk about island getaways. We're going to talk about driving to Mongolia and brake failure. And there's all sorts of stuff that's going to come up in this one. It's a really fun talk we're going to have. So here we are, episode 164. Fun fact about the number 164. On a Scrabble grid, a Scrabble board, the grid is a 15 by 15 grid, and there are 164 squares that are neither a word nor letter multiplier. They're just the blank square, the one you want to avoid at all costs, the one that only gets you the points on the tile. So there are 164 evil squares on a Scrabble board. Everything else has the double letter, triple letter, double word, triple word, all that kind of stuff. So now, if you play Scrabble, you will have a useless fact to tell your Scrabble opponents about. And that will make you look so cool, because that's what useless knowledge does for you. Makes you look so cool. It doesn't. Trust me. I'm full of it, and it doesn't. So I hope you had a good Halloween. Did you dress up? Did you do the thing? We had 21 kids come to our door for trick-or-treating, and I only know that because I bought a 40-pack of candy, and I was giving out one because I thought we were going to have more, so I'm giving one to each kid. My girlfriend's like, save the Snickers. She's in the background. Save the Snickers for her. And so we had 21 kids. I gave out 21 pieces of candy, and there was still a bowl of the fun size Snickers bars sitting next to my door that we have not eaten yet. And the only reason I've not eaten them yet is because the day after Halloween, I went and bought myself like a pound of candy corn. You got to get the candy corn with the mellow cream pumpkins. You got to get that mix, right? That's the best. That's the best kind. And day after Halloween, it's half off. Yeah, so that's my favorite holiday. It's half off candy day. So I have been gorging myself on candy corn for the last few days, which is absolutely not healthy. Not in the least. But when in Rome. I don't know if that applies here. I don't think that saying applies here, but I'm going to make it apply here. So when in Rome, eat candy corn. I'm going to get a t-shirt. I'm going to get a t-shirt that says it. When in Rome, eat candy corn. And if you don't agree with it, well, bully for you. And make sure, did you vote? It's today's Tuesday. The day's coming out, November the 6th. It's voting day. If you didn't vote, then don't complain about anything. I hope you voted. I voted. My girlfriend voted. All my friends voted. And you got to do the thing. You got to do the thing, right? No matter how it turns out, you still got to do the thing so that you have a reason to complain for the next 2 years. And there will be complaining for the next 2 years. I guarantee it. Somebody will be complaining about politics over the next 2 years. It's just the way it is. But here, though, we don't really have to talk about that so much. We talk about the old politics from like 300 years ago. That's what we do. And we are sponsored today by Pirata Clothing. They got a brand new website, and it is a darn pirate utopia of shirts and hats and clothing and swimwear and more. It's all steeped in the lore of pirates and treasure, and it's perfect for your next Caribbean cruise or your trip to the Keys or just, laying on your couch on the weekend. Good for that, too. And they add new stuff weekly. So go check, go do it. Go check clicky on your computer, on your phony thing. Go check out pirataclothing.com and be sure to click the little ship wheel on the website to get in on Blackbeard's treasure hunt. Go grab yourself some gear now, pirataclothing.com. And if you need like a custom order, you got a big crew of people that you need a custom order for, you can easily get that taken care of. Call them up at 1-877-607-LOOT. That's 1-877-607-LOOT at pirataclothing.com. It's going to make you healthier. It's going to make you sexier. It's going to make your bowel movements smoother. All of those things. It might not make any of those things happen, but it is awesome pirate clothing, and you should definitely go check out pirataclothing.com. So do that. I had a very strange gig, a fun but strange gig last Friday night at a place called the Lucky Penny in Murphy's, California. Now, Murphy's, if you've never heard of it, and if you're not anywhere near it, you've probably never heard of it, because even the feature act, Chad, that was going with me, was like, where are we going? We're driving into the middle of nowhere. Murphy's is one of those little gold rush towns that was probably a big deal during the gold rush, but now is just like 3 streets. And it's a quaint little town. A lot of wine drinking happens there. The Murphy's Hotel is there, which apparently is very haunted. And we were playing around the corner at the Lucky Penny. And we knew the show was going to be a little bit of a weird one when the drunk girl not only moved from the back row to the front row, always dangerous, but then got up on the stage and started yakking in the mic before the show. And being this it wasn't a comedy club show, there was no security to go yank her off. So we let her yak for a while. And then she ended up taking her shirt off. She had a sports bra on, but shirts were coming off. The show hadn't even started yet. Yeah. Chad and I knew we were in for an interesting evening, that's for sure. The producer of the show, she does comedy under, she bills these comedy shows as Mad Cow Comedy, right? That's her production company. And so she went up and opened the show with 5 minutes of cow jokes, which was exactly as you would expect it to be. It was like she looked them up in a joke book, 3rd grade joke book, doing the cow jokes, and we were like, okay, great. Chad went up and destroyed Chad Opitz. If you've not seen Chad Opitz yet, I encourage you to go find some of his work because he is amazing. He's so fun, very theatrical. Love the guy. He's great. So Chad went up and just wrangled that audience. He just wrestled them to the ground like a bronco buster in a rodeo. He had a great set and left him high. His closer is fantastic. And then the producer went up and decided to tell some long, drawn-out story that really didn't end in any sort of punchline, and then bring me up. So we had reset the room now to 0, and I had to work at bringing them back again. And they were drunk and they were rowdy, but they were fun. And there was a cow on stage, not a real cow, but there was like a cow figure on stage. The producer, she went and grabbed during my last song and started dancing the cow next to me. And then it tried to take the cow's hoof and bring it under my guitar in the realm of my crotchal area. And I had a Mutu moment. It was hashtag Mutu. It was not. It was very weird. There's a picture on my Facebook page if you want to see it. Just look for Phil Johnson Comedy on Facebook or my Instagram, and you can see the picture of her dancing this cow figure far too close to me during my closing song. It's a very strange show. But what was nice is one of the owners of the place is a dude I went to middle school with. I haven't seen in years. I was actually in the same grade as his sister, so we were friends, and he was friends with my brother. That was weird, just to see. You know, like, there's always, like, the last person in the world you expect to see somewhere, and then you see them somewhere, and that was interesting to see good old Nate there, so that was cool. So anyway, more shows coming up. Always, I'm packing up as to leave town, just as we talk, right again. My suitcase is right over there to the left. On November the 7th, I will be at Legend Sports Bar in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. On November the 8th, I'll be at the Sundowner Saloon in Kingman, Arizona. A lot of saloons down there in Arizona. November 9 through 11, that's 9, 10, and 11, I'll be at the Edgewater Casino in Laughlin, Nevada, headlining all these shows, by the way. November the 12th, I'll be at the Honda Casino in Pinetop, Arizona. Then a jet back out here to California. And on November the 16th, I'll be at Comedy Oakland in Oakland, California. November the 17th at the Paraiso Brewery in Los Banos, California. I've never played Los Banos before. Driven through lots of times, so we'll see what happens. On November the 21st, it is a Thanksgiving Eve show at Urbano Bistro in Modesto, California. That's going to be me and Anthony K. That is going to be a heck of a show, man. And then on November the 28th, I'll be at the Outpost Saloon in Waterford, California. And I'm pretty sure all those I am headlining at. So lots more. Go to underthecrossbones.com. Click that tour dates button. You can see when I'm coming to tell jokes and sing songs in your neck of the woods. Oregon, Washington, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Florida's coming up. We'll be in Florida, in Fort Myers, Florida, in time for the Fort Myers Pirate Festival in 2019. So you can put that on your, stick that in your calendar and smoke it. And if you're enjoying the show, and I hope you are, come join us over on Facebook. That's facebook.com/underthecrossbones. On Twitter, we're at Under Crossbones. Make sure you subscribe in whatever podcast app you're listening to right now. Just click that little subscribe button, and you will automatically get the newest episodes downloaded to your device automatically every Tuesday morning when they come out. And if you want the show notes for this episode, go to underthecrossbones.com/164. And if you want to donate to the show, sponsor the show, visit us sponsors, click the Amazon banner, all that, go to underthecrossbones.com/support. And right there are a myriad of ways, a cornucopia of ways, a large collection of ways that you can help support the show. And I appreciate everybody that's doing that. I really, really do. Helps keep the old boat afloat, like we say. All right, so let's get into this interview with Gareth and Ferdinando. I always want to call him Ferdinando of Pirates Grog Rum. We had a little bit of technical weirdness at the end of the show, so if you feel like the end cuts off a little bit abruptly, that's why. You'll hear me mention something about it, and then we lost our connection. But we'd pretty much wrapped up the important part of our conversation anyway, so you're not missing anything, okay? All right, let's do this. Let's get into my talk here with Ferdinando Menezes and Gareth Noble of Pirates Grog Rum. So first of all, tell me who we've got on the line today.
So we've got myself, Ferdinando. I do events for Pirates Grog.
Okay.
And we've also got...
I'm Gaz Noble, and I manage the operations and do quite a lot of other things as well.
There's probably a lot of the drinking as well. the fair share anyway.
Nice, good. So you guys are located in London, right?
We're like North London. It's like Tottenham at the moment.
Okay.
So the listeners might have heard of the football club, Hotspurs and all that. So we live above a club. Sure. And now, because it's going to be winter, they're going to turn it into a club called Tottenham Hotspur. So that for a pop culture reference, if you ever had one.
Nice. I love London. It's my favorite city. So let's jump into the organization here a little bit. You guys are a rum company, but your rum apparently is not made where you are there in London. Tell me about where it is made.
Yeah, so the rum is from Roatan off the coast of Honduras. Me and my partner Beth lived there about 6 years ago. We were having quite a nice time house sitting, which is a nice way to see a place. Sure. And we came across Pirates Grog in one of the supermarkets and ended up drinking quite a lot of it. And on one of the nights, we bumped into the master blender, Robert, a Dutchman who'd been there about 20 years. And he decided to create Pirates Grog because Honduras didn't really create their own rum. They used to import a lot of Flor de Caña or Ronzacapa from Guatemala and Nicaragua.
You make it sound so civilized there.
It's quite civilized.
We were out for a night out and we bumped into the gentleman who made the rum. You were out getting absolutely off your face, mate, and you bumped into the lad rolling around with a bottle in his hand on the beach, and just happened to be that bottle, and it just happened to be the guy that makes the rum as well.
Yeah. He forced me begrudgingly to try some more.
Oh, my God. Woe is you, mate.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
So you meet the guy that is distilling the rum there in Roatan, and how did you approach it when you said? Did you say we want to distribute this in the UK, or how did that conversation take place? Where you kind of go into business with the guy?
I think that line was a little bit more coherent than what I said to him.
I'd like to know the next morning, but we're probably about a week later.
My background was manufacturing. So he took us for a tour of where he was producing the rum and bottling it, and we could see there was a bit of a bottleneck because he was hand bottling and doing a lot of it himself. And his first year he did about 15,000 bottles, so he was sweating a little bit making those bottles. There were a couple of people that helped him, but we just said to him, look, you concentrate on making the rum. It's great rum. We'll ship it back to the UK and we'll bottle it here, and then we can distribute, into Europe. We distribute to Australia, Canada, from here. And he just makes the rum now, and we kind of do the rest. We brand. We've brought out several new products. We do a lot of gifting options. We do a lot of music festivals, pirate festivals. They're the best ones.
Yeah. Do you guys have many of those over there then, Phil? Many pirate festivals?
Oh, yes, we do. Yeah. Yeah, we are deep in festival season at the moment. So, yeah, we got tons of those here. They're a lot of fun.
Now we're kind of heading to obviously our Christmas season, but it's like during summer, though, we have loads of music festivals. We also do there's a couple of pirate festivals and stuff on the coast.
Okay.
One of the ones that we'd highly recommend that we've been doing for quite a few years is Brixton Pirate Festival.
Okay.
If any of you listeners come over here, then come over there. We're always going to be there, so tell them to come have a visit and have a rum on us.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'm sure I actually have lots of listeners where you guys are too. So they either are already going or now they know to go. So
hopefully, they would have heard of us already by then. To be honest, then so it's great. We can have support. We've tried the bloody rum and it's great. And if they don't do that, then I'll go on later under different names and I'll do that myself anyway. So it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Nice. So if you're doing the bottling and such there in the UK, then what are you receiving from Roatan? Are you receiving casks of rum then?
So yeah, we get a bit of both. The romantic vision is definitely the casks, and with the number 13 rum, that comes over in the casks. So we only get a few of them come of age each year. And the 5-year rum, we blend that, so we ship that over in bigger containers. And yeah, so we do a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been quite a nice journey there, hasn't it? It's like, because Robert himself was making the 5-year, but since then it's just developed. We've really grown, and from the 5-year we've now got the 13, which, as Gareth said, we only have a very limited supply of. So that's our premium product, which we make in these beautiful crock bottles. You should check out, if you haven't seen any other products, you should check it out online. The label on there is beautifully designed. But then since then as well, we've made a coffee rum liqueur. So it's one of the only products out there that is also naturally flavored. So we cold brew the rum with the coffee beans. We extract the flavor, but we also extract the caffeine as well. So it's one of those strange, after about a bottle and a half, you have that strange push-pull thing where you're like, I'm feeling very drunk, but I'm also feeling absolutely buzzed. Do you know what? It's a great feeling. I highly recommend it.
Good breakfast, mate.
Yeah, we make a rum for every time of the day.
It sounds like a classier version of a vodka Red Bull.
Way classier.
I will fully admit that I am not only not a rum drinker, but not a drinker at all. So I don't know anything about what makes one rum good over another rum. So what is it that attracted you to that rum when you tasted it that made it different from everything else that's out there?
So the rum, it's really natural. It comes straight out the barrel. And a lot of other rums have sort of caramel or colorants added to them. Obviously, you get a lot of spice rums, which are flavored and adapted, where this flavor is really natural, straight out the barrel. It's really clean. It's not quite as sweet as some other rums, but I just find it a really pure taste. So it's been my rum of choice for about 5 years now, and
it's also been your rum on tap for about 5 years. So I mean, we can probably draw correlations there a bit, but I don't know. I think that the problem at the moment is there's just so many people releasing spice rum, and that's, it's great and all if you've got a decent idea and but the problem otherwise is just rum with loads of sugar added in and a few E numbers to give it a bit of flavor. And the reason we started off doing this was to promote the 5-year-old rum, which was just like an A's golden rum that kind of stood true to itself, didn't have any additional, didn't have anything added to it.
We wanted to improve the rum category, didn't we? We wanted to create a really premium, good quality, natural rum that was affordable, which we didn't really feel like you could find too much in the supermarket. So yeah, that was the route we went down. And then the 13-year-old rum kind of emphasizes on that, because it's like rum's equivalent of a single malt whiskey. It's won a lot of awards, and yeah, it really heightens how premium rum can be and can be seen. So
okay, that's interesting.
I mean, as much as we haven't wanted to venture into spiced rums and stuff, we might have something on the horizon, Phil. I'm not going to say for certain, but we might do. But yeah, it's we were also looking at that kind of, broadening out the portfolio into that kind of side of things as well. But it's nice because we built a stable, a group of avid fans by doing a lot of these events throughout the UK, and they've tried all of our rums. And I think the nice thing about rum, as opposed to like a lot of spirits, for me anyway, is that it's not just about the drinking experience. It's about it's not
around, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's about the kind of party and the fun you have around it, and it helps that we're all mates who've been doing this. So when we have fun, we're enjoying ourselves. That kind of transfers across into when people are at our bar and they're drinking our drinks, and then we're getting smashed and they're getting smashed, and all, yada yada yada. You see how where this goes.
The liquor industry in general, and rum in particular, seems like a very crowded market. So going into that, what kind of plan do you go in with for how to supplant the larger names in the rum market and find those new people that will be into what you're doing? Because you're not going mass market right off the bat, both because you can't and because it's impossible. So what do you do to find those people that are really going to, kind of hone in on what it is you have?
So we've kind of attacked the market back to front, really, compared to a lot of other people we've seen enter. We've really focused on consumers from the beginning rather than to businesses and to the on-trade. And we've done that through events and through e-commerce, through selling online. If you've looked at our website, we do some great packaging for our gifting products. We do some amazing personalization. We really try and create a very intimate experience for our customers. So we're aware we don't have the budgets of some of the bigger brands, but the quality of our products, in our opinion, is greater, and we give a very personal experience with people at our events and online, and that means we've got a very dedicated fan base, and that seems to be growing quite rapidly at the moment, and opening more and more doors for us. So for the level we produce at, our main issue is producing enough rum, which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. So
that's a good problem to have. So you guys are really going about it the same way that a performer would, a band or a comedian, which is what I do. So all that sounds very familiar to me. And I think
what do you play? What do you do, Phil?
I'm a comedian, a singing comedian, guitar player, all that kind of good stuff. That's where I actually make my money.
Okay. And then you're a pirate on the side.
I'm a pirate on the side, right? Yeah, but the way you're going about it really does sound like, we're going to go do live events and we're going to hit people one at a time and get them into what we're doing. It's the same way that a band builds, so I think that's really interesting.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, especially the way the music industry's changed. Like, the music industry's gone from being like, you did gig, but then you got to that point of like mass distribution where you could just get it out to everyone. And now I think the alcohol industry is probably going in the same kind of direction. Not about, like, it's always been about, get the word out initially, but then mass distribution is easier to achieve because if you have a lot of capital behind you. But now the whole dawn of this boutique spirits thing, and like gins and now rums, is about the fact that there's so many different craft distilleries and craft beers and things like that out there. And people are looking for something slightly different. They're not necessarily looking for the lowest price point. They're looking for a bit of love that's put behind it and a bit of a story that's put behind it.
To be fair, Ferdy, I think our biggest audience are Yummy Mummies.
my biggest audience. Don't bring yourself into my category, mate. You're diluting my situation very quickly. Stop it.
So being that actual grog is watered down rum, that's kind of a terrible name for a really good rum. It still works as a name, but do you ever have anybody that goes, well, this isn't actually grog?
Yeah, it occasionally comes up in conversation, but the theory behind the name and the branding is that so rum used to be like Navy strength on the ships. It was about 56%, and when they watered it down for grog, 57%. It depended on the ship. When they watered it down for grog, it would go roughly to about 37.5%. So our rum, our 5-year-old rum is at 37.5%. And
okay.
And Roatan, the history of Roatan is very piratey. It used to house about 5,000 pirates because it was away from the main trade winds of the sort of more well-known Caribbean islands, your Jamaica and Barbados. So the pirates could kind of come and raid, certain ships or islands, and then sneak off back to Roatan. So
it was that kind of safe haven, wasn't it? Because also between that island and the mainland, a lot of bigger ships wouldn't have actually been able to access there. But then that's the interesting thing as well, though, about why it was kind of came to become grog, and then also how proof it became known to be proof. It was that like Admiral Vernon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Admiral Edward Vernon that it was named after his Grog Rum coat. So I mean it's a fun name. We're playing on the history of the island and a little bit of history in rum. So yeah, it's really to get people thinking a little bit about pirate history and rum history and the history of the Caribbean. Nice. One of the products we sell, the gift chest, that comes with a book about the history of rum. Because we want to educate, we want to have fun with what we're doing. We want to educate people as well in terms of the history of rum and the Caribbean and pirates.
Nice, yeah, that's great. Because and the reason I brought it up is because if you're doing the pirate festivals, you were bound to run across some super accurist traditionalist who would come up and go, well, this isn't actually really a grog, because those folks are always fun. But I think as a name for it, it's great because there's such a visual that goes with it that people can put, and there's a picture that goes in your head when you say pirates grog, and I think that is, and you guys hold that all the way through the brand, even with the gift sets and things like you were talking about. So tell me about those, because they make me want to drink rum just so I can get the cool little chest.
I mean, we can fill one up with like coloured water and send it off to you if you want. For the personalised drop, just for you, Phil.
Well, we are thinking about doing an alcohol-free rum. So if the first bottle we get, we'll send that to you in a gift chest.
It's just that problem of trying to I have thought about this vague. It's been like that person who can crack that kind of like ethery, like that burn from an alcohol, but make that non-alcoholic. That person is going to do very, very well for themselves.
Well, we're getting close.
There's people who do not try to do non-alcoholic spirits, and like at the moment, but the problem with that is that all it is just, it feels like just botanical flavored water. So it's not. I mean, I don't think you can call anything a non-alcoholic spirit until you emulate that kind of what a spirit gives to you when you drink it. Like, not necessarily the drunkenness. It's not that. It's about the like what a whiskey or what a straight rum or that kind of heat that you get off
of fire, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that bit of fire. It's like if you can make that non-alcoholic, then I'd give it kudos as being a non-alcoholic spirit. But to just say we distilled some plants and things and then we made it so that then we extracted the alcohol. Okay, I can I put my hands up. It's probably taking you a lot of effort, but a lot of effort to make something that tastes a bit rubbish.
It would end up just kind of being like a syrup.
Sorry.
So tell me about the gift sets that you guys offer. Who designs those? How did those come about?
Yeah, so the gift sets came about because we were when we first launched the rum, we were really looking for a way to differentiate ourselves. And to be honest, I didn't know what to get my dad for Christmas, and I was looking at the rum market, and everything just comes in a cardboard box or like just very simplistic, basic things, which get damaged quite easily. And we're a rum company. We love pirates. We wanted something that really embodied Roatan, so we created and designed these rum chests that I really wanted it to feel like you were opening a treasure chest, and it is a treasure chest. You get a bottle of rum, you've got a book about the history of the Caribbean. We put personalized scrolls in, and people can write whatever they want, naughty or nice. We've had some very interesting.
Encourage more naughty. We definitely encourage naughty.
We've had some very interesting ones. We've had some amazing ones as well, where one lady was proposing to her husband, and she'd created a treasure map, and that was kind of his first present. And she sort of sent him round the houses, basically. And I think he eventually got some tickets to Iceland for them to go and enjoy a romantic trip away. So there's just been all kinds and there's been some pretty horrific ones, to be honest, as well.
Well, I mean, I always recommend, my general recommendation, but this is only because I do this personally myself. You know, Phil, when it comes to Christmas time, you know that family member that you invite over, but the one that you know that family member, the one that you have to invite over, but you don't really want to invite over.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. You say that like you know what I'm talking about, Phil. Preaching to the choir. But what you do for him or her is you buy them one of our gift chests, but you wrap it in a plastic bag and you bury it somewhere, and then you give them a map where X marks the spot, and you get rid of them for like 4.5 hours, mate. Do you know what? Come on, ding dang dong. I think you're in.
And they're really happy when they come back.
Exactly. The price you pay for peace and quiet, folks. Available only in sterling. Go to our website, piratesgrog.com.
That would be fun, actually. That would be hilarious. Hey, where's Uncle Bob? He'll be around. He'll be around.
I'm surprised you asked. Does anyone actually give a shit? No, probably not.
That's great. That's really cool. So, were you guys piratey guys before starting this company, or is that something that came with the company?
Oh, it's an interesting question. I think we were definitely explorers, and loved adventure, and we met Robert and really got into the rum, and I definitely think we were piratey. We were adventurers, but it absolutely blossomed when we discovered the rum and the Caribbean as well. I think that whole lifestyle and that area, it just has so much magic. There's so much history there, and it's just an exciting place. Yeah, you can't be there and not really.
I think what he's asking though is just like, have you always been a blagger? I feel you probably don't get my terminology here, but it's like pirating. What I'm trying to say is like pirating, everyone loves sunshine and probably would love sitting on a beach and would love digging up buried treasure. But I mean, like being a pirate and you go to a lot of these pirate festivals and everyone loves to dress up and they love all of that and they love the role play and the cosplay and stuff of all of that. But pirating, especially now in the modern day, it's a kind of frame of mind. And you can see how that's been applied to like, hacking and coding and stuff like that. It's a rebellious type of framework where it's just like, we're not going to accept the status quo. We're going to make our own way around things. We're going to find out life hacks. You know what I mean? It's that type of thing.
I think we were pirates without knowing we were pirates. Like we had all the characteristics and qualities of it. We'd just not quite got to that point in our life where we'd quite realize what category we fall into. And then when we found it, we just knew that's what our destiny had for us. And it's been pretty great ever since. And we love the pirate community, and we love everyone that has an adventurous soul and likes to live by their own rules. And it's just a nice life to live, really. And it must have been amazing back in the kind of 18th, 19th.
Well, yeah,
century.
Is that book that I'm reading at the moment, which is just all about those structures within piracy. It's always given this whole ideal of being like these were the scourges of the sea, and these were like they were rebels, but they had their own framework within themselves. They had respect for each other. They just didn't want to conform to what life was back in that day.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of people are also searching for now, when it's just like sit behind your desk, do your 9 to 5, this, that, and the other. So it's like either things that people can feel, things that people can be passionate for after they finish doing that, or ways people can break out of that.
There's so many amazing facts from like piracy and rum. Like the American Revolution against the English was pretty much fueled by people with rum distilleries in Florida and up the East Coast, because the English had created a sugar tax because they didn't want to buy in French sugar. And then, you've got things like on pirate ships, gay marriage used to be acceptable. Like they took slaves on board that became part of the crew and everyone was equal. Like you had a great, they were almost like a few hundred years ahead in their like politics of the situation. And yet they were viewed as barbaric just because they didn't like
their quality and like the ability to deal with people. But then it was like, well, just because we don't want to, like, stick to your 2 stripes on your shoulder and like, I do completely agree with you on that.
Yeah, it was it's just an awesome ethos.
Yeah, definitely sort of a not an outcast society, but just like you said, the people who don't want to stick to the status quo and do the desk job. And certainly the idea of, going off to live in Roatan for 6 years certainly fits into that idea. How did that trip come about in the first place?
So we were working in the UK and we were saving up some money, and we really wanted to go on an adventure. And we initially first came to California. We traveled around in camper van for a little while, and we were fortunate enough to meet a guy that had been in Roatan. He built a house there, and he was looking for house sitters to go and look after his pets and things on the island. So we basically got on a plane. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't entirely sure where Roatan was at the time. We touched down and made it our home for 6 months. And it was, this is an incredibly beautiful island. It's very natural, and the people are incredible there as well.
Oh, the scuba diving's awesome there.
Scuba diving's absolutely, next level.
That's great. Which part of California were you in? I'm just curious because that's where I am.
We did a house sit in Laguna Beach, which is very beautiful. And then we spent a bit of time in LA. We drove up to San Francisco, and then we drove to Las Vegas as well. Which
did you do Route 1? Is that how you drove?
We did do Route 1, yeah.
That was fucking awesome. Like, I did that as well.
It was very beautiful.
That was like, okay, I only did the drive like from San Fran to LA and then back again, but that was a hell of a drive. I imagine that's a huge that's a huge the standard thing that people will say on their tour, the things that they have to check when they come to California.
Yeah.
But
we made the slight accident of setting off just before sunset and then pulling up at sunset and enjoying the sunset, and then realizing it was pitch black and we were kind of halfway along Route 1. You still had about 5 hours in the pitch black to swerve up and down the cliff faces. So it was an interesting drive.
I have a harrowing story about that. When my girlfriend and I were doing that, we were right on that cliffy part right before you get into Monterey, and we come out, we're in Monterey, and the brakes on my car failed. And I was like, if these had failed 10 minutes ago, we would have gone right off a cliff. And ever since then, we've been like, we are never doing that drive again.
That's slightly concerning.
I have a fun story about brakes failing, funnily enough.
Do you?
Yeah.
Did you wish to share?
Yeah. Well, so I went away a couple of years ago doing this drive, ridiculous drive. But he was driving from London to Mongolia.
So, I mean, it's called the Mongolian Rally. It's quite.
It's like what? It's supposed to be. It's like we did 11,500 miles.
Oh my god!
Kilometers. Yeah, look and it's not a race, but it's just like you need to get there. That's just the challenge. But anyway, towards the end, this car was so beat up. The main thing is, the car has to be more than 10 years old and 1.2 liters or less. I don't know if do you guys have 1.2 liters or less in America? I don't know. Is that a thing?
I don't think we do really, no.
It's either electric or 3.5 liter diesel, baby.
20 miles to the gallon is like a success in America, isn't it? Frowned upon in Europe.
Oh god, yeah, but it was quite funny because it's like you're driving through really ridiculous terrain, and the amount of random fixes we had to have of various things. But at the very end of things, I had one brake on my left front brake not working, no brake pad, and so every time I hit the brakes, it would swerve left. And so, no, it would swerve right. Sorry, no, it would swerve right. So I had to counter steer every time I did that.
Oh my god!
And it would absolutely hit me up every time I did it. It did make it quite interesting.
And how long does it take to make a drive like that?
We did it in 6 weeks. Some people do it in like 2. Some people do it in
You say we loosely. He lost his teammate.
You're very kind, sir. You say that I lost them. I got rid of them slowly but surely. They couldn't keep up, mate. So it's fine. But I did end up on my own for a little while.
That sounds like quite an adventure.
I highly recommend it, mate. There was a lot of people. That was the nice thing. There was just like a lot of people from around the world that had decided to go there and do this thing because it's just one of those weird challenges where it's like they don't do anything for you along the way. It's not like there's a support car or anything. It's all about like, do you know what, mate? You're an adult. We're adults. You've decided to like set off on this journey. You might not know anything about cars, but you've got a boot full of rum. Fair play, that'll help you along. And it did. But yeah, it's just like you treat people like adults, and you're like, this is an adventure, and find people along the way. And all the people who did it with us, you know, they're all similar-minded people. I was on my own for like 4 or 5 days before I found a group of like 3 cars that all had stickers on them and stuff like that. And you find them and you team up and you meet awesome people. It's just like, it was an awesome experience. I highly recommend it.
Out of interest, Phil, what car were you driving when the brakes failed?
Ooh, what was it? It might have been a Dodge Intrepid or it was a Toyota Corolla. I can't remember exactly which car it was at the time.
Toyota just need another brake scandal, don't they?
Yeah, right.
As the VW with their emissions scandal, mate. All of them have scandals hidden under the bonnet somewhere. They all know.
They all do.
If all of us knew what we were talking about, then we might find things that we wouldn't think were that savory, Phil. You know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Well, so this has been great, guys. Where is the best place online for people to keep up with all your products and the stuff you're doing?
So you can find us on just on all the normal social media channels. Go to our website, Pirates Grog. We're playing a little game at the moment on our Facebook page.
I'm coming in for this one. So Pirates Against, you guys know of Cards Against Humanity?
Sure, yeah.
So basically, we're doing a promotion. We're doing a little competition on our Facebook page at the moment called Pirates Against Morality.
Nice.
So it's Cards Against Humanity, but there's no option cards, and you don't have to choose from any of the funniest things. You just have to put your funniest thing. It does get very adult, does get very debaucherous. We don't necessarily aim for people to reach the most ridiculous things, but it's just a fun little game.
And I don't think we can condone.
We
don't condone everything everyone says.
We don't condone everything, and we can't control everything. That's the thing. But we live on a pirate ship, baby. But we've got that on Facebook. We've got Instagram, obviously, Twitter. Our website is available for everyone to see. We'd love it. The more people let us know their interest via Facebook and things like that. If they have a look at all of our products and stuff, we've had quite a few people so far anyway who are stateside who kind of love what we do, and they love the products, they love the gift chest, and the more and more that develops, the more and more we are gonna get our asses in gear and come over to your side.
Yeah, we need to start distributing in America.
Nice. Very cool, guys. Our connection is getting a little sketchy here. And there it is, friends. That is my interview with Ferdinando Menezes and Gareth Noble from Pirates Grog Rum. If you want to find out more about what they're up to, go to piratesgrogrum.com. And, of course, like they said, you can go over to Facebook and look up Pirates Grog Rum and dig into their, Pirates Without Morality game, which sounds like a whole lot of fun. Did you hear something you thought was fun that you wanted to jump in and comment on, add something to, something you agreed with, disagreed with, whatever it is? Come on over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/underthecrossbones, and jump into the discussion. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. Be kind when you tell me what you didn't like, because I'm a delicate person. We are sponsored today by Pirate Radio, The Treasure Coast, WKKC-DB. Playing the best music of today's hits and yesterday's classics, and Pirate Radio Talk, playing the best pirate shows, including Under the Crossbones, 24/7 all commercial free. To listen, go to pirateradioTheTreasureCoast.com or pick up the Pirate Radio WKKC-DB app in your favorite app store. That is the music station. Or if you want to hear some good old pirate talk, go to pirateradiotc.com or pick up the Pirate Radio Talk app in your favorite app store. Or just yell at your Alexa or yell at your Google phone. Give it a okay Google, and it'll pop up and you go, okay Google, play Under the Crossbones or play Pirate Radio The Treasure Coast, and it will do it for you. It's like magic, man. Just yell at your appliance and it will pop up pirate music for you and pirate talk and regular music and all that kind of good stuff. So that's it. Pirate Radio, The Treasure Coast, all brought to you by iTreasure Radio, the very best digital media from independently owned stations at iTreasureRadio.com. I've got a cool little ebook for you that you can jump on. It's You know, as many times as I've talked about this, you would think that I would be able to say the name of Alexander Exquemelin on the first try. And for some reason, that almost never happens. Sometimes I'll edit it out when I make the mistake. Sometimes, like this one, you're going to hear right now. So that's what it is. That's just the way we're gonna play it today, and that's it. So I have a new ebook for you. It's Alexander Exquemelin's Pirates of Panama, Buccaneers of America. Originally published in 1678, Alexander Exquemelin was a doctor who ended up on pirate ships and wrote about his adventures, wrote about his experiences. So this is firsthand knowledge of pirate ships from the 1600s. Amazing stuff. And I've got an ebook for you. Go to underthecrossbones.com, click on the free ebook button, and you can download it right there. Or if you're out and about and all you have is your phone, just text the word pirate and your email address to 94253. Very simple. Text the word pirate and your email address to 94253. And that is our show for today, kids. Thank you very much again for tuning in and telling your friends that word of mouth is golden. Keep on doing that. If you want to find out more about my guests, the guys from Pirates Grog Rum, Ferdinando and Gareth, go to piratesgrogrum.com or find them on Facebook. Do that thing up. We got lots of great shows coming up. Next week, we're going to talk to PJ Dolan from the Secret Spot Escape Room in San Diego. It's a pirate-themed escape room that if you happen to be going to San Diego, I guarantee you're going to want to see it. I want to see it. So I'm going to book something in San Diego just so I can go to this escape room. So that's next week. The week after that, we're going to talk to Eric J. Dolan, spelled differently, no relation. Eric J. Dolan, the author of Black Flags, Blue Waters. Great book about American pirate history. Very cool stuff. So lots of cool things coming up. Be sure to go to the show notes for this episode for all sorts of goodies. Underthecrossbones.com/164. And I'll see you next week.